Hello everybody, welcome to Diamond Gunsmithing. Today we're going to be going over the Glock 43X. This here is my normal carrying pistol, never mind the work on the slide. It was a project that I did during SDI. Didn't turn out too great, but I made it look like it was used and abused and actually get a lot of compliments about it. But neither here nor there. The Glock 43X is a very famous weapon. Still one of the top 10 for concealed carry. It is very slender, just over an inch wide. Carries a 3.4 inch barrel. Like most Glocks, it's got the metal slide with the polymer frame. Safeties with this weapon is just with the trigger safety and with Glock's safety action system, which keeps the gun from firing when dropped, keeps the firing pin from being engaged unless this trigger is actually engaged. A couple of features with this. Standard Glocks magazines come with a 10+1 mag. The magazine release is ambidextrous. You can change it to either side. There are a lot of people that are changing to the conversion of the shield mags that allow you to, I think, get 17+1 rounds with this weapon. There have been a couple of issues with the slide not locking to the rear from there, but I think a lot of that just comes from your user error and limp wristing. But I really like this gun because it fits in my hand very well. It's got a very nice beaver tail to it. Once I put it in my holster and I'm carrying it around, after about 10 minutes, I forget it's even there. Very slender, very powerful. It is chambered in 9mm Luger. It is, in fact, open, or clear and safe. And so today, we're just do a quick little disassembly and reassembly of this weapon. I'm sure a lot of you already know what it is, but this video is mainly geared towards the beginners. So without further ado, let's go ahead and break this thing down. All right, so now let's go ahead and disassemble and reassemble this firearm. Before we do anything, I want to make sure that it's clear and safe. All right, no magazine, we're all good to go. Tools that you're going to need, going to be a small punch. This one here is a 3/32. Armorer's block, not required, but it helps. And then a small little hammer. So in order to disconnect the slide from the frame, all right, you have to make sure that the weapon is cocked, okay? Because you put the firearm into your thumb, wrap your fingers around, and kind of like squeeze or pull to the rear, and you hold down on your slide lock, all right? This little part here. Hold down on it, let it go, and then pull the trigger, okay? And then comes undone. Next, take off your spring assembly. Hold the slide upright and your barrel will slide downward. Remove that. And this here is your field strip, okay? We're gonna go even further. Me personally, if you already know me, I like detail strips. And we're gonna show you how to do that. So we're gonna put all this stuff off to the side. And first, we're gonna work on our frame, okay? So with your frame, all right, you have your magazine release, trigger housing pin, trigger pin, firing block, slide lock, your trigger bar, ejector, and then this here is your trigger housing. Inside here, is your connector, and you'll see when I take it all apart. So let's take apart the pins first. First one, you don't need the hammer, just push it, falls through. There you go. Put it out to the side, don't lose it. For the next one, okay, you're gonna need a little oomph. All right, whether you use your hand or recommend a little hammer. Just push it on through, pull it out. There is your trigger pin. Now, if you look at them, they are two different sizes, all right? So you can't mix them up. There are some firearms that have same size pins, can go in different spot or go in the same spots or different spots, okay? But those cannot. Done with the armored block. Now we're going to remove the slide, we're going to remove the locking block, all right? Take a punch, put it right in here, and just kind of push down a little bit, and it comes up. And you can kind of fish that out a little bit. All right, there you go. Put it off to the side. Next, we're going to remove our slide lock. Inside here, there's a spring. So be careful when removing it. You want to put your finger over it while you're doing it all. All right, so you can stop the spring. It's very small, easy to lose. Be careful. So push down, and with your finger, if you just kind of like roll your finger outward, you'll start to see it come out. Keep your finger in place and just pull that slide lock right out. And there's the spring, okay? Don't lose the spring. Next, you remove your slide stop lever. And then after that, the trigger firing group comes out, okay? So you have your trigger, trigger bar, trigger housing unit. Now, there's a little plus in here, all right? Be mindful of how this looks before you take it apart, all right? Because that's how it's going to get put back together. This here is your connector. If you pull down on the trigger, all right, and just kind of give it a twist a little bit, you can take it out of spot. This comes into one unit, so if this breaks, this all comes together, all right? Now let's go ahead and remove the connector. Take your punch, flip it, put your punch right in there, in the hole, connector comes out. Put that off to the side. Now we have to remove our trigger spring, okay? Take a little punch, now be gentle, because there's a plastic shaft that goes in there, all right? It's easily breakable, okay? Lift up, and then spin it 90 degrees toward you, and it comes out like this. Okay, there's that piece. Remove the spring, just comes right out. Okay, you can see that bar there I'm talking about. All right, there's two holes here. You have to push the bar back, slide it up to the top holes to remove the bar. Okay. So, see the bar came out, push it up, bar comes out. And there you go. Now your frame is fully disassembled, all right? Let's kind of move those up a little bit. Put this off to the side. And we're gonna start working on our slide, okay? Okay, first part on the slide, you have to remove the back plate. In order to remove the back plate, take your punch, and you have to push up on the firing pin so you can get in between the firing pin and the firing pin sleeve, and you push down on it, and with your thumb, opposite thumb, just pull back on the back plate. Be careful when letting this go. It is under spring tension, okay? And it will shoot out at you. There's a lot of things that can shoot at you with this gun. So if you don't wear glasses, maybe put on a pair of safety glasses so you don't hurt yourself. Put that off to the side. Pull on the firing pin. Put that off to the side. This here is your extractor plunger and spring. Comes apart like this. And then this part here, this little black part, does come off. It's kind of a pain in the butt though, so I'm not going to do it, but you can remove that. Next, if you push down on the firing pin safety to remove the extractor, there, then the firing pin safety with its spring, very small, don't lose it, comes out. And there you go. Now your slide is fully disassembled with the exception to your sights, which is your rear sight, front sight. Rear sight, you could just kind of hammer it outward. All right. Otherwise, you could use a tool like this, which allows you to remove dovetail sights. We don't need to do that today. And if you wanted to replace your front sight, there is a little hex head that's in there that you have to unscrew in order to remove it. But we're not going to do that. And if you're not replacing sights, you shouldn't either. So that is fully disassembled. Let's go ahead and reassemble, or I'm sorry, forgot one piece. Firing pin assembly, all right? So you have your firing pin sleeve. Silver part is your firing pin spring, and then your spring cups, all right? Be careful of these. There are two pieces here. They're very small, all right? When removing them, you have to get a good handle on the assembly, pull back on the spring in order to remove the cups. Once you remove the cups, slowly release the spring. Spring comes off, sleeve comes off with the firing pin, and there you go. We are now fully disassembled for the Glock 43X. So let's go ahead and put it all back together. Firing pin goes back into the sleeve. Throw the spring over the firing pin. You may need a second person in order to do this if this is your first time. Guarantee you, if it's your first time, you're going to have a bit of a difficulty trying to put them in. And don't be surprised if these little cups shoot out. Okay, so be in an area that can catch little flying objects so you don't lose them. But you have to find a way to hold the sleeve, right, while keeping the firing pin forward and depressing the spring. Do that. Got little cups in there. If you have never done this before, it does hurt. So push through the pain. But there you go. Okay, cups are in, fully disassembled. Now my hand hurts. Put that off to the side. All right, now firing pin safety. This little block only goes in one way. Okay, see how it goes in? If you try to do it another way, it's not going to go. All right. So carefully with your spring, place it into the safety. All right. I recommend taking if you don't put goop in here to hold the spring in place, take your slide, just put it on top until you reach the end of the spring, all right? And then make sure it seats properly. It is a little temperamental. I did put it in the right way, I promise. There we go. Once you get it in there, you're good. Because you need to get it, you need to depress it in order to reinstall your extractor. This little part here is going to go right in that cup. Drop it down, release the safety. Now you're golden. Now you're golden, pony boy. You're going to replace your extractor plunger and springs. Spring goes into the smaller nipple. Okay? Place it in there until it clicks. throw it into its little slot, and there you go. Take firing pin, put it back in, and that's it. Final part is the back plate. So push down on the sleeve, reinsert the back plate, and when you clear the sleeve, all right, you then have to take your punch and you have to push down in order to push in. Once it stops going in, you have to remove your punch and then push it in until it clicks. Once it clicks, you're good. And now your slide is fully assembled. Put that off to the side. So, with our receiver, or I'm sorry, with our frame, okay, we have to put together the trigger, spring, and the housing. So, let's go ahead and put the bar back in. Remember, insert in the top hole, okay, and slide down to the bottom. And there you go. Put it upright so you can put the spring back on. Be gentle. It is plastic. It is cheap. All right. And then with this little clasp, all right, orient it so the hole is horizontal and even with that little plastic bar. Put your finger, your little nail in there. Okay. Push down until it clears and then spin it. Okay. And that's it. And you're good. Okay. Take your connector. Reinsert your connector. Voila. With your trigger bar, remember that plus, all right? This end, so, let's see if I can do this for you. Not gonna hold up, all right. This end is gonna go into the plastic piece, while this end is gonna go inside that little lip, all right? You kind of have to go down into the first metal clasp and then gently just kind of like twist it into spot. Once it goes in there, that's it, all right? The frame will push it all together, all right, and do what it needs to do. So in order to put it back into the frame, place the trigger part in first. You may have to squeeze on the housing unit and against the connector in order to place it into its spot, right? But it will go in gently. You can even put in the pin now. All right, should click into place. If it doesn't, it is flush. So just take your punch and make sure you hear a little click in there when you place it in there. Next, we're going to take our slide stop lever. Now this spring is going to go right inside that little recess there. So place it just like that. Okay. Next is going to be our slide lock. Place your spring in there first. It's going to go right in that hole there. Damn big fingers. All right. Then with this groove to the rear, you're gonna shove this into the hole, but you're gonna make sure that it goes over the spring, and you're gonna push it in. I would still keep your finger over the spring area, just in case if you fling it on accident, and now you have to find the spring or replace it. And that's it. Slides right into place. Put in your lock and block. Make sure that clicks in. Put in your pin. A little tap, tap, tap-a-roo. Should hear a click, and you're good. All right, now we're back to the field strip. So let's put together our barrel and spring. Place the barrel with the lock and lugs away from the slide. Okay, goes in the top hole. If you slide it down, slide to the rear, it almost always goes back in the spot. Okay. With the spring, this black plunger goes right in here. And then this silver part, the silver disc, is going to go right in this curved recess. Not the top part, curved one. Put the plunger in, push down on the spring, and there you can kind of see it. All right. It's not in the top part, it's in the little curved area. To put it back onto the slide, all you have to do is just match the grooves. Send to the rear, let it go. Do a little function test. Everything sounds good. Pull the trigger, hold the trigger, re-rack, slowly release. Feel that reset of the sear, pull the trigger again. You're good to go. And that's it. That is the full disassembly and reassembly for the Glock 43X. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I've had this weapon as my carry for better part of 4 years now. All right, hasn't jammed on me, haven't had any issues. Try to take it to the range regularly, keep it clean, keep it lubricated, and that's it. Okay, I urge you guys, especially those that have big hands but don't want to feel a big block in their waistband. All right, try this one out. All right, this feels great. Fits very well in my hands, very accurate, gets the job done, okay? They also offer an MOS for this, all right, where you can put a red dot slide on the top. But without further ado, thank you very much for watching this video, and stay tuned for any further disassembly, reassembly, or cleaning videos. Have a great day. God bless.